taken a kind of guarantee. Any woman, any female chartered accountant who would like to restart their career either in flexi hours, part time, full time, work from home opportunity, the portal is available. So you can let the female chartered accountants know if anybody is looking to restart their career. We are also engaging with many HR agencies and with many companies to hire such resources. My other request to you that if you are looking for any kind of resources or any kind of employees as a chartered accountant in your firm, you can hire through that portal. They will be a great asset to your company and your firm. So that is one initiative I thought I'll highlight it. The third one is the beautiful one, Project Udaan. This year we have started. We have tied up with the IIT Mumbai and IIM. So what we are doing a roundtable discussion of young chartered accountant and final year student of IIM and IIT. So if there are any ideas, we see many unicorns are coming in, many startups are thriving, and most of them are led. But we are not seeing many of the chartered accountants coming as a founder or on the front side of a startup. So this year we thought, let us start an initiative that with the Project Udaan, where we can have a roundtable discussion. It is our chairman's idea, Ankit sir, who always thought that a chartered accountant will do great as an entrepreneur. So he decided to launch this project. What we are doing a roundtable discussion with the engineers and with few management students and with our CA final students if they are interested. Otherwise, fresher young chartered accountants, so they can exchange the ideas, and maybe one or two good unicorns we may see that could be led by the chartered accountants. At least worst which will happen, at least they know, a chartered accountant will know couple of MBA students and couple of engineers by when he will be in the practice, so he'll have certain connects. So that's the idea of the Project Udaan. We have done many events. Thank you so much for always supporting us by under the leadership of CA Ankit Rathi, who is not here today due to some work, but we have done the largest regional conference this year on 23rd, 24th. We have also received a world record for highest professionals participating in a cricket tournament. We have done a cricket tournament of 101 teams, 1010 chartered accountants participating in a box cricket tournament of 2 days. So we have done many events. We look forward to your presence. Two major things which are coming in December, I would like to request you to participate. One is obviously election. See, on 6th and 7th December, institute is going for elections. It's your right, and obviously we all understand it's our responsibility also. So I request everyone to kindly participate fully in the ICAI election. Vote your whatever candidate you feel is right for the ICAI, vote for him or her and make the right choices. But please do participate in the elections. And the second thing is that as an institute, we are organizing one national conference on GST on 13th and 14th of the December at Thakur Village. So if any of you are interested to learn and see what GST is doing and what GST has done in the last 12 months, so we have a roundup discussion, and it's a very beautiful topics, landmark judgments on GST, and a 2 days detailed conference on GST. So if the subject interests you, you can enroll for that. Hope to see you again and again in ICAI events. Thank you so much.
First, I like to first introduce our faculty today. Uh, we have with us, today's topic is permissible and non-permissible services by CA in practice. Our faculty today is CA Chandrasekhar Narayan Vaze, and he is BCom FCA, ACS and LLB. He has been practicing chartered accountant since 1980, and which is for more than 40 years. His active participation is in work of many professional bodies of CAs. He has delivered lectures and written articles on taxation, banking, and allied subjects. He has delivered lectures and written articles on Valmiki Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavad Gita, and many other social subjects. He has also anchored musical and cultural programs. He is actively connected with arts and literature. He has directed plays in Sanskrit language and also worked for promotion of Sanskrit language. He has been president of Maharashtra Seva Sangh Mulund, president of Sanskrit Bharati Konkan region, and director ex-chairman of Jan Kalyan Sahakari Bank Limited. There's many other, like I'll just make it short, and I'll request our secretary, C.A. Gautam, to present the memento to our faculty. I'm sure today the topic is permissible services and non. We all in practice, many times we come into situation where we know what we are supposed to, but then that doubt arises in our mind, अरे ये हम कर सकते हैं या नहीं, या हमें करना चाहिए या it is allowed. So I think sir will today, guide us in doing this, like will help us, and so that we can take a proper, stand whether a particular work we need to do in a practice is allowed or not. So I welcome CA Vaze to the dais.
Namaskar, Suprabhat and good morning. Friends, on the dais, the office bearers of the WIRC were there, Mr. Gautam Lat, Mr. Ramesh Sanghvi, the coordinator, Anisa ji, who was kind enough to introduce me, my co-speaker and an expert in many aspects of our profession, Maitreyi ji, my friend Atul Bhela ji. Well, there are quite a few friends of mine here, but since probably they are contesting the elections, I am avoiding to mention their names. I don't know whether it is permitted under the ethics. But then I was told, and it's a very common experience for me, that in the month of December, wherever I go outstation for speaking, people are enthusiastic, managing committee, sir, kya enrollment हुआ है, 250, 300 enrollment. Hall की capacity है 80 only. And then when I see in front of me, there are hardly 30 members. And everybody gets CPE. So that is the tragedy of our profession. Basically, the profession is in a not a very enviable situation today. Friends, I have surrendered my COP. Unfortunately, it is becoming a sort of spineless profession. Everybody is taking us for granted. And what we lack is discipline and the upgradation of ourselves. There are many aspects, and when I enter this, especially the topic of Code of Ethics, usually I share the experience of the live cases that I have handled and which are really nightmarish. अब ये permissible and non-permissible services, people will say, अरे कौन देखता है? Chartered accountants do not do anything unless they are compelled to do so. So, whenever any new regulation comes, the first question that arises in a chartered accountant's mind is, ये नहीं करेगा तो क्या होगा? And that's the tragedy of our profession. Unfortunately, we don't really appreciate the spirit behind the law, and we are not able to convincingly communicate it to the clients. And that is why we chartered accountants are taken for granted. It's very easy to say on the dais that it's a very glorified and dignified profession, but the reality which we are facing, well, the less said the better. Friends, please excuse me because I may be a little too candid, but remember that I always on this topic, this is one aspect of the Code of Ethics, but on this topic, my first and foremost thing is that don't do anything in good faith. And I always start with only one case that I handled out of the 400 cases. And that is a very speaking case that husband and wife both were chartered accountants. Wife did the audit of a housing society for 3 years. Then there is a rotation clause in the cooperative field. And therefore next 3 years the husband did the audit. And in the 8th year, there was a divorce petition between the two, and the wife filed a complaint saying that the husband took the audit without her NOC. So this is the reality of life. No relations are permanent. Therefore, now out of these many cases I handled, fortunately, this is the topic where the cases were the least in number, because sometimes whatever services you render to a client, it may not be a public, it may not be in public domain. And therefore, even people are not aware, because the people who complain, they are usually the clients or some other outside parties, and they are themselves not aware as to whether this particular service is whether it can be rendered by a chartered accountant or not. So because of the ignorance of the public, the cases on this particular aspect are very less. But otherwise, people have become so over enthusiastic, all regulators, all businessmen, and they are using this as a mechanism to blackmail the chartered accountants today. And I'm examining all those cases. Today, NAFRA has become active. Then the queries that come from QRB, queries are coming from FRRB. Now, these are the authorities where your irregularities, even in this aspect, will be exposed. Common people may not be aware of these technicalities, whether we can render this service at all. But when it comes to QRB or FRRB, then people are quite experts in that, and therefore they might bring out this particular aspect. And therefore our motto is Ya Esha Supteshu Jagarti. Friends, there is really a time for awakening. If you continue to do the practice in the manner in which we have always been doing, I can assure you that you will be inviting the trouble for yourselves. Today, we need to wake up, and we always need to remain awake. In fact, there was a teacher who came in the classroom, and he explained the importance of mother for 1 full hour. Students were dozing as usual.